the last Sunday of the month of September 2025. Another beautiful day to discuss matter we get to do with Nigeria. And welcome to Updated Precious. Always the sweet my belly to bring on an update of matter the moody shell for inside Nigeria. And today we carry better story common at the month. Well, better story, I can't tell, but I'll bring you up to speed with those stories. So if you say we carry come on at the month. So and also all of you know about the coronation of the Olubadan. We happened over the week and everybody sent congratulatory messages. And only Peter Obi message now he can't get a lot of trouble because he don't come under serious attack and serious criticism on to say, how dare you? How dare you refer to a whole traditional ruler as your dear brother like that? How dare you? So people don't they attack him well because of that, and he himself don't respond to the attack. In fact, one of the people who attack him, Oriyomi Hamzat, also attack him say he disrespect Yoruba culture by calling the addressing Olubadan as in brother, in dear brother. How can he address him as in dear brother? But Peter Obi don't respond. I'm going to look into the response we say he gave. Meanwhile, Peter Obi don't mourn Zamfara mining disaster, calls for urgent regulation of solid mineral sector. And so you don't call. And then moving on, remove Kwara, Kogi West from northern classification because me and you know say they be Yoruba people. Reclassify them as Yoruba territories amid insecurity. Yoruba Union, I don't they tell Tinubu. Say commot them, they call them North Central. No, they be Yoruba people. Tinubu government systematically marginalizing Southeast. It was giving bare minimum. Former reps member Okorie. I talk this one. Why talk we go know. Meanwhile, as it get to do with the appointment of INEC chairman, Sarah don't summer President Bola Tinubu say, we give you ultimatum, reveal the process where you want to use appoint the new INEC chairman, or reveal them or within a good Sarah. All the cases on I don't win how far. They agree obey them. Fallon don't say Nigerians they're entitled to compulsory health insurance. All Nigerians they entitled to compulsory health insurance. For this Nigeria, Nigeria. Now it's observed to seek UN Security Council seat amid insecurity. APC 90 tell Tinubu. As that one get to happen, now so different news outlets and don't they carry them. They say, in fact, Bill Meha, will be US comedian, don't claim say Christians they consistently targeted and slaughtered in Nigeria and say the world they ignore them. Then they pay attention to the ones who be say Jews they involved in. They pay attention to other things for the world, but they no one see say that they marginalize or perhaps deliberately persecute Christians. But the federal government don't come out say no. Waiting they happen, no be persecution of Christians. No. They not be waiting what they do be that. Say they need to persecute Christians, so say the killing it they happen everywhere. And as they talk to you on our SGF, don't talk, say, hey, say make everybody know they blame Tinubu for the problem where Nigeria get to because of why say problem they Nigeria already before Tinubu take over. There was already problem in the country before Oga Tinubu take over. So no be him bring problem for Nigeria. So no could take him easy with that, right? Okay. And Nigerian government provides solution to Dangote refinery Pengasin Rift. The solution work because as I talk to you right now, Pengasin and then as it gets to do with the strike matter, TUC don't talk, say they go join body with Pengasin for inside that strike. But all this matter and more, and I carry common at the month. And today na Sunday. So joining me for inside the studio in my Sunday medicine, I'll Prince Francis Chilaka. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Madam, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. I hope so you did fine today. How are you doing?
Yeah, much better.
You are?
Yeah, much better.
We're
The,
glad. We're,
the
we're,
the problems of Nigeria was trying to
to
affect
will
my
you?
mental health.
Hey, oh. They not know say we dey protect our mental health here.
The helmet can't break.
Eh?
The helmet for protection break.
the, the helmet of protection break.
The break.
Hey, Willie. Sorry, sir. No vex. No vex. Welcome to the show, sir. All right. So a couple of things maybe so we'll go talk about. I don't even know where we want to start, but let's start with this case of Peter Obi very quickly because good day good make we no start with them. Good day good make we no start with them. I sure say you don't see the message. Make I even post the message, the congratulatory message where we say Peter Obi send to Oga um the Olubadan of Ibadan during a coronation. Now, that is a congratulatory message sent to him, congratulating him for the position. That is it here. You see him. So he posted that message saying congratulations to him for the position. So he said congratulations to that's the title. Congratulations to Oba Rashid Ladoja Arosawan. You can't say I warmly congratulate my dear brother Oba Rashid. That's incontrovertible. Prince Francis, sir. If I show you the level of messages will come up because of that thing, Nigerians para, especially people will be say na Yoruba people and APC people, because it's like it's their culture and tradition that is desecrated by calling Oga Ladoja my dear brother. How dare he call my dear?
Precious,
Come, I won't show you evidences now, sir.
precious. Hold on, hold on. You see, the way we're dividing ourselves in this country, the way our leaders are politicizing everything, the way our leaders are making us hate ourselves is alarming. I see no reason, no justification for the outburst and the attack on the person of Mr. Peter Obi. Mr. Peter Obi is actually a knight of the Catholic Church. Ordinarily, he should have been addressed as Sir Peter Obi. Well, it doesn't matter. And sometimes people forget that the word brother is deeper than whatever title you take up, you point yourself as a traditional ruler. The word brother shows reverence. It shows love. It shows affection. It shows closeness. So I think those who are criticizing Peter Obi are coming from that point that they feel, oh, this man is trying to tell us that he's close to this person. And so they must politicize it so as to paint him like a demon and present him to the people. But then these same people are not asking questions. Whether you call him Oba, whether you call him whatever name, is that putting food on the table of Nigerians? Is that helping to sort out the issue of the marginalization we talk about in Nigeria? Does that take care of the fact that a lot of children have not gone back to school? Does that take take care of the fact that healthcare is not available to the ordinary poor Nigerians? So why must we politicize everything? And why must the masses, why must the Nigerian people allow the political class to use politics to continue to divide them? I feel rather ashamed at the way and manner our politicians are going about issues in this country.
But this one is about people's culture. Remember, they have their own respect and the way they respect people and the way they address people. Whether we like it or not, people say that cultures differ, culture differ. So when we see people culture,
but when you say culture, Precious, do you understand that is what they call culture shock? Do you understand what that means?
Very well, sir.
And so why would you think that because you have a culture and everybody must follow that culture, you must learn to be liberal? You must have the spirit to accommodate other people. You must see the good thing in other people's culture as you see good thing in your own culture. Interestingly, I was reading somewhere today, I think I saw where even Mr. President used the word my brother. So why did they go after Mr. President? So please, let us, there are issues bedeviling this country. Issues of bad governance, issues of corruption, issues of national grid collapsing, issues of, lack of motorable roads. These are issues that we should look at and be debating on as a people. We don't spend all our energy and, trying to fight one another over what? Traditional stool. Gone are the days when these traditional rulers were revered, whether you like it or not. These days, it is the governors who give the staff of office to traditional rulers. And then you begin to ask yourself one very question is that at what point are the gods now involved in electing their traditional leaders? I agree that the Oba must be revered and all of that. But honestly speaking, I do not see anything wrong in the message Peter Obi sent. And I think those who think there's something wrong, they're doing it out of malice, they're doing it out of lack of something to say or to do with themselves. It is not everything that we must, begin to tear our pants for. There are certain things that, it's not everything an elderly man sees that he talks about. There are things you see as an elder and you keep quiet and you let it go. So those who are, demonizing and criticizing Peter Obi, they're not doing it because it is Peter Obi. They are doing it because they see him as somebody who wants to contest 2027 election. That's just it. And also, I don't want to bring tribal sentiment into it, but it appears that it's becoming a tribalistic issue. And it shouldn't be at all.
I was going to speak more on this conversation. Now, speaking more on it, if we look at the things that may happen, you will see all the people that will also congratulate the same Olubadan. Because some people, like this person highlighted here, in his message, it says, frame 1 is Tinubu calling the Olubadan my brother. Frame 2, Atiku called him my brother. Frame 3, Peter Obi said my dear brother. But say every other person, that Peter Obi on the attack, they not attack Tinubu on. But make we even look the our president or Gabola Tinubu message to the Olubadan himself, and make we see how he used address and him and Atiku. This is Atiku's message to him. He said, "I congratulate my brother." You see him? So you put up. And then it wasn't a problem. And in all of this, nobody mentioned or said anything about Atiku Abubakar. I mean, perhaps they will not say anything about Tinubu because he's the president of Nigeria. Now, a lot of people they talk saying that because of say all those other people, them they very close to the age of the Olubadan, but say amongst all of them, Peter Obi like a small boy to Ram, so he doesn't have the right to refer him as my dear brother.
But Precious, you see, this is where they're making a mistake. They are forgetting that Peter Obi was an ex-governor and the Oba himself was an ex-governor.
They were governors together at the same time at some point, I think.
What are we talking about? Why are we creating dichotomy? Why are we looking at issues that there is nothing wrong with it? They have gotten in terms of political status, they have gotten to that level where they are both equals. When an elderly man of 70 years go and marry a girl of 25 years, the girl will look you in the face and call you guy. Because age will disappear. Okay, there has become a relationship. The point here there has become a fraternity between them.
Okay, sir. Okay, so make I take I know you understand, you speak Yoruba very well, you help us understand. Let's take a video from someone from Yoruba extraction criticizing Peter Obi on that, because for most of them, they feel like it is about their culture, their tradition, and a younger person cannot address an elderly person otherwise, So a lot of them, I mean, the broadcast journalists also complained, and they even made it to the newspaper headlines because of that complaint. Other people then complain. I don't want to talk about the people that will be obviously very, very, very partisan people, like a lot of APC people will complain about them. People see them as a political move for them to complain. And of course, Reno Mokre complain. In fact, see, he complained. He say he don't dare right at all. I didn't want to speak.
Please, leave Reno Mokre is an idiot. Leave him out of this. Please, the man talks anyhow. Just forget him. I don't want to go into talking about Reno Mokre.
Okay. All right. So let's take what this
Yoruba fi. Yoruba Obi ti rí yín fi o. láti pe Olubadan ní my friend.
ẹ dàbò rẹ̀ rú bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o.
Dàrú à ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn ni.
ẹ ti dàrú bá o.
ọmọ Ìbàdàn òbí ti rí yín fi o Yorùbá òbí ti rí yín fi o ó ń pe orí adé ní my friend.
70 years older. The cabinet imperial majesty. The president go pè my friend older.
70 years older.
The cabinet imperial 70 years older. The cabinet imperial majesty. The president go pè my friend.
Kò sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ọgbọ́n ṣe close to.
Well, I mean, supposed to say my friend, but my brother.
No,
my brother. You pè only my brother. I thank my brother.
My brother she da.
My brother.
When you say my brother she da.
My brother olóńdà ní kábíyèsí.
Títí bàbá ẹ̀.
Títí bàbá ẹ̀.
Our father ló yẹ kó.
Ṣé ẹ̀gbọ́n nígbà tí ṣé ẹ̀gbọ́n nígbà tí kábíyèsí sọ̀rọ̀ kábíyèsí nígbà tí kábíyèsí sọ̀rọ̀ kábíyèsí ní kábíyèsí ní ẹ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ ó ti fún yín kábíyèsí rí bá sí president.
Okay, so I don't understand what this. Now you don't understand Yoruba. Now your face is change. Or you help us interpret, sir.
No, I'm not interpreting what they're saying, but you see, this whole thing is just mockery of the traditional institution as well. Because those who are criticizing Peter Obi have no stance to do that. The argument is that Peter Obi is a younger person. But if Peter Obi was the president today, would this come up? If by adventure Peter Obi is the president, will this issue come up? This is the height of hypocrisy to my educated and learned Yoruba friends. It's the height of hypocrisy.
All right, so Peter Obi himself has now, he's made a public statement about that. He don't come out and talk, say, in no means to desecrate or to disrespect the Oba, and he apologized. He said, "I have read the concerns of those aggrieved by what they consider." In fact, this time around, as he want to address him, he say, he still call him brother instead, but this time he add my dear elder brother. You say, "Oh, come to me." You like say my brother, they do have every time. So they say, "I facilitated with my dear elder brother." This time around, he put elder. Maybe now the elder one puts before for the other one. That be the problem. So now he can't put elder brother inside, and then he's just said that basically he didn't mean to disrespect. He was just showing and concern. But there's something that caught my attention, just like you said earlier, for inside all of this. I think there's a particular Ibadan group we talk, say, make the Lagos state extraction of Yoruba people and the partisan people, get them out of their war. Because that's Peter Obi and the Oba were governors of Nigeria. And there is nothing wrong with what Peter Obi has done. So if they want to make this thing partisan and all that, they should get them out of it. That is not their business. That are not part of it. I kind of like, the way they were a bit more neutral about this, even though we also urge and push for people to always consistently respect other people's tradition. But let's go on to other issues very quickly. I shall say you hear what's happened for the UN National Assembly. But before we get to that, in fact, make we even get straight to that. Our Vice President's statement or within a talk for the United Nations National Assembly, UNGA. Now, a lot of Nigerians don't also begin lambasting. The lambasting started with not just him alone, but to him and supporters of the APC, especially to President Muhammad Buhari, former media aide Bashir Ahmed, when Ibise Bashir Ahmed was quick to post and tweet that, "Hey, not gonna come see you. Netanyahu they talk, or people walk out of the hall, or when they talk, or they know that when they talk. Quickly, people can show pictures of Oga, our Vice President they talk. How people also walked out while our Vice President was talking. I'm like, okay, is that even fair? But one thing we catch people attention at the statement we make concerning the insecurities or what's they happen for inside Gaza. And then people now quickly called his attention to what is happening in Nigeria. So I'd like us to take a listen to what he said about Gaza very quickly. And then we'll play what's the complaints about Nigeria.
We speak of the violence and aggression visited upon innocent civilians in Gaza. We speak of the violence and aggression visited upon innocent civilians in Gaza, the illegal attack on Qatar, and the tensions that scar the wider region. It is not only because of the culture of impunity that makes such acts intolerable, but because our own bitter experience has taught us that such violence never ends where it begins.
Okay, so that's it. That's what the vice president said. And then Nigerians started attacking him, and some other non-Nigerians too started attacking him and saying that, "Excuse me, sir, how about the one we happen for your place?" I mean, Nigerians are being killed daily, especially by extremist Islamic sect. What have you done about it? And Prince Francis Chilaka, should I tell you what people now did? People can't go dig out in picture. I don't know whether this picture now AI generated though. Now he go tell us so. Because they go dig out in picture where it be say they say intake with allegedly some Boko Haram people there. Come go carry and say, hey, see you here where you sit down. They wine and dine with Boko Haram people. They see the pictures here. See him. They see him. Hey. They dig out this picture. Come use and they shout, say, hey, see you here, oh, you were here, whining and dining with them, oh. You did not remember this particular picture of yours, oh, when you are crying for people in Gaza. And that is not all. Some people even come collage themselves, sharp, come begin make other issues out of them. I don't know. I don't know why we're like this, but now these are the reports. Yeah, people now made this collage and said terrorist Kabiru Sokoto with VP Shetima versus Obama, Biden, you said, and all of those issues. And I'm waiting. But I would like you to address this before I go to the complaint about the killing of Christians, still from people from United States. Would you like to react?
Charity begins at home. Unfortunately, our government is always quick to respond to international issues than they respond to the troubles in the home front. Each time people get killed in Plateau, Benue, Borno, the government hardly speaks out against it. The government hardly issues a statement. But the moment something happens in Iran, in Saudi, in Palestine, the government comes out. And then you ask yourself, maybe the government is trying to seek for international publicity, because that is like an international stunt. But, the truth of the matter is that, yes, there is nothing wrong with seeking for a seat on the Security Council, but we need to do the needful. We cannot have a country where bandits are running anyhow, terrorists are doing what they want to do, unknown government are terrorizing the citizens. Nothing is happening, and yet you want to sit amongst people who have been able to curb insecurity in their lands, who have put up a better fight. Yeah, I mean, it's for me, it is mockery, it is mediocrity. That's the way I say it. So I think that the government should be able to calm down. The government should address its internal problems before going outside to find and speak against other issues.
All right, sir. So now, speaking about this issue, earlier in the week, U.S. Comedian Bill Maher said something in a short clip for inside the show where he say in talk something. In talk, say people they ignore the killings where they happen for inside Nigeria, and that reason they happen for Nigeria a systematic cleansing of Christians for inside Nigeria. And then I'll put out that video. I'll play it now so you hear what he said. I'll also put out the video of which is somebody else also talk about the killing of Christians for Nigeria. And then I'll go ahead go play you a last video where it be say just a few days ago, a few weeks ago, whatever, people for inside the Boyne State, they cry, they run away from their houses. You can see them, they run away. Why? Because of the activities of waiting they say headsmen. Say headsmen no let them stay for their houses, then they run away. I kindly take a listen to some of these videos.
Nigeria, I mean, the fact that this issue has not gotten on people's radar.
Right, no one's talking about it.
It's pretty amazing. If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. Not, and again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They've burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are their Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Because no one will talk about it, so thank you.
Absolutely.
Love the world and you want to see a better world. Your interest is not just free Palestine. I mean, there are more people dying in Nigeria than are dying in Palestine. I can tell you that last year alone, over 500,000 Christians were killed in Nigeria just in 1 year. And nobody's protesting. The activists are not saying anything. For me, that's hypocrisy. In the north of Nigeria, Christians are being killed daily because the Islamic militants don't want Christians to exist in the north of Nigeria. They want to see a world where there are no Christians at all. And they want to conquer not just Nigeria, they want to conquer Africa, they want to conquer Europe, and they want to conquer America. The younger generation who want to live in a better world must speak out today. And I'm calling on all advocates.
All right, so just before I continue, this particular video, now a video where it be say for inside, I think it was in Jos Plateau State or Benue State, I can't remember which of the states now, for a church where it be say, if you notice, if you look at the church, I think that church was burnt and razed down by terrorists, as it were. And the people for inside the church insist say they will still worship for inside that church. So Nigerians started putting up this video to, you know, narrate it in Nigerian Christians.
All advocates.
We praise your name. Jesus Christ, to protect us, to guide us, Lord, to see us through, to fight for us, to give us hope in the name of Jesus.
My people have been displaced, so since yesterday, we have been on the run. The Imeg have taken over our land. You can see people, children, both adults. Where we are now for help. Is not still safe for anybody. Help. The whole community have gone out. You know, everywhere have been taken over. People should come to our rescue. Look at them. Nobody is in their house. Nobody is in their house. Everyone on the run. Look at the little children. Look at the little children. Look at everyone. People have been displaced.
All right. This is very sad. Let me take a reaction. Now, very quickly, as the guy talk within him talk, or the US comedian talk within him talk, the Nigerian government don't reply. The federal government, through the Ministry of Information, stated that there is no genocide against Christians in Nigeria. It's of course following what Bill Meha said. However, for inside that statement, today Sunday, this Mark, I read part of the statement as you read in part. The federal government strongly condemns and categorically refutes recent allegations by certain international platforms and online influencers suggesting that terrorists operating in Nigeria are engaged in systematic genocide against Christians. Such claims are false, baseless, and despicable and divisive. Portraying Nigeria's security challenges as targeted campaign against a single religious group is a gross misinterpretation of reality. While Nigeria, like many countries, has faced security challenges, including acts of terrorism perpetrated by criminals, couching the situation as a deliberate, systematic attack on Christians is inaccurate and harmful. It is oversimplified, or it oversimplifies a complex, multifaceted security environment and plays into the hands of terrorists and criminals who seek to divide Nigeria along ethnic and religious lines. And so he said, our Oga talk, or Minister for Information talk. But then people can't reel out the statistics of Christians who don't die for inside several attacks on Nigeria versus the statistics of Muslims. That of Christians, they way more in number. In fact, most of the places where APC attacks, they happen regularly. The Christian-dominated areas. The Plateau states of this world, mostly Christians. The Benue states, mostly Christians. Some part of the northeast where they happen, like the Chibok and other areas. Now, most times, the Christian-dominated areas of those places, now in this attack, they happen in most times. So people can't counter waiting government they talk say. But if they talk this one and waiting with experience we don't grant a different thing, how does it relate? Or make a take a reaction, sir.
Well, first and foremost, you don't expect the government to own up to the fact that certain religious groups are being targeted. You don't expect them to own up. No reasonable and sensible government will own up to that. But the truth of the matter is we understand, as citizens of this country, we understand that the level of carnage going on is, like you said, is targeted at areas predominantly occupied by Christians. And that is very worrisome. Because even the Northeast, where this whole thing has been, if you check, the areas that people have been killed, you find that it is predominant areas that are occupied by Christians. Yes, I agree. Once in a while, some renegades go to the mosque to kill one or two persons. But then our question we should be asking is, these ones who go to the mosque, are we even sure why they go to the mosque? Have we bothered to ask that question? Have we bothered to carry out a proper forensic investigation? So yes, anybody who says that it's targeted at the Christians, the person is right to some extent. Right in the sense that if you look at, even in Kaduna, when areas are attacked in Kaduna, it is predominantly areas occupied by non-indigens, occupied by Christians. So it is now left for those who believe that they speak the language of these perpetrators. And that is why I get upset each time we talk about the killings in the north, the killings in the south, the killings everywhere, where people would say the headsmen, bandits have taken over. I have never seen the Arewa Consultative Forum, Northern Elders Forum, Arewa Youths. I've never seen them come out vehemently, strongly to condemn the activities of these Fulani headsmen. They don't do that. And that leaves a lot of sour taste in the mouth of a lot of Nigerians. Now, what is going on? Why are they not criticizing their own people? Take, for instance, take Nnamdi Kanu, for instance. Take Simon Ekpa. Who are the ones criticizing them the most? They're tribesmen. It's gotten to a point, at a point in time, Ohaneze came out against them. So why is it that those who claim to be the mouthpiece of the North are finding it difficult to say, our brethren, headsmen, you are the problem. Can you stop disgracing us? Then from there, we'll begin to find solution. But nobody's doing that. I mean, you've seen, you saw what happened in Benue State the last time. And when the president went visiting, he says, for him, he said it was a communal clash. But at the end of the day, we heard that people were arrested. So it wasn't an issue of communal clash. So this whole propaganda, this whole lying, this whole cover-up is why people are beginning to look at it from a different perspective. To say, there must be a sinister reason why these things are happening. So anybody who wakes up and says, oh, it's an attack on Christians in the north or in the south or wherever, the person may probably not be, lying or may not be totally wrong.
All right. Well, there are people who will also tell you that the Muslims themselves have also suffered a lot in these attacks, especially some of them no fit go farms for states like Zamfara, Sokoto, and other states, Niger State. Some of them no fit go their farms again. Remember, some of them also suffer the same kidnapping, just like the DRRs, where we get who they radicalize and they degrade and all of those.
My position on that. My position on that is that it's a failed project, and it's a project that the government should discard. You don't use taxpayers' money to reintegrate and reabsorb criminals. You don't use taxpayer money to do that. If you're doing that, then you're encouraging it. It's like you're saying, oh, no problem. When you guys finish, you come and you repent, we'll take you back. If that is the way we want to go about it, if that is what government thinks is a solution, then we shouldn't have reason for building prisons. The Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't be in detention up till now, because I know that he would also have said he has repented. So why are we using that word repentance to justify evil? A man kills his wife and he goes to the court and says, I am sorry, I've repented, I will not kill my next wife. And you say, okay, go and marry another wife. Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense. So we must look at things holistically and say, how do we resolve this issue? We must have punishment for crime. It is that punishment for crime that deters others from committing that same crime. But if you don't have, excuse me, if you don't have punishment for crime, then you're saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with anybody, going on the street and hacking somebody. And when you're arrested, you say, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Some people say, oh, I got possessed. Some people say, oh, I was forced. You, okay, agreed. You were forced into joining the group. But when you were given the gun to go and kill, were you forced to shoot? Were you forced to press the trigger? So until we come to that realization where we must understand that the laws of the land must not be implemented in such a way that it looks like favoritism. A thief is a thief. The man who comes to your house to steal has two intentions. It's either he steals what he wants and goes, or he kills you in the process. So let us forget all this grammar. It's just another way of government spending recklessly, spending with impunity taxpayers' money.
All right. So, but is this enough for the ADC to now last the presidency because of Oga Shetima message? Because they blast in the contour, say, say they very shameful. Say they no feel look at the, just like what's in Bible talk, the spec, the log where did their eye before they come out the spec where another person eye. Malam Bolaji Abdullahi talked this one today Sunday. The party talk say it did very wrong for the government to be asking for global responsibilities when it cannot protect the lives of its own citizenship or citizens. Shebiana the asked for permanent seats for UN. So he did very fine. Part of Henry say it is shocking that the Tinubu administration is asking for a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. Security Council, while bandits are slaughtering Nigerians and taking over parts of the country. That's what they talk. They say, how can government that cannot provide peace or security at home expect to be taken seriously at the global table where security is discussed? Just last Friday, gunmen attacked a mosque in Yandoto village in Zamfara state, killing worshippers and abducting others. Only weeks ago, 45 people were killed in Zamfara. Entire village were sacked and dozens kidnapped. In Katsina, a similar attack happened. 47 people were killed soon and nothing don't happen about them. In only 2 months, over 140 people have been murdered in Zamfara and Katsina alone. In fact, Amnesty International has even reported that more than 10,000 lives have been lost since May 2025. Just May this year, 10,000 lives to attacks by armed groups. Now, these are not just mere statistics. They are human beings, Nigerians. This administration promised renewed hope. What is a renewed hope? Now, what's in ADC in the chapter? People come to talk, say, it is not a good place or a good, no good when you know say your brother don't fall for ground finish. You still can't embarrass them. Because when people want to say, you know good man, you know where your brother go, maybe shouting him. So is it fair that the ADC is taking advantage of what they are going through now to attack them? That is the presidency, based on the statement APC Oga Shetima make for the United Nations, sir.
Well, it's for me, it's all about politicking. And then don't forget it. The 2027 election is drawing close. So everybody is gathering their tools, their arsenals for the war ahead. And that is why the government in power must be very careful with what they say outside and what they're demanding for. You know, yes, like I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with demanding for a permanent seat. But we must also realize that it is not a seat that is given to you because of your population. It's not a seat that is made available to you because you are Nigerian. No, it's a seat made available to you because you have met certain criteria. So in terms of security and insecurity, have we met the criteria? No, we have not. What do we need to do? Let us solve our internal problem. Let us solve our internal insecurity situation. And then when you now know that, you have a country where, people can travel at night, people can walk around freely without being molested, without being kidnapped, without being, beaten up and all of that, then you now begin to say, okay, good. We have gotten to that level where we believe that it is high time for us to play with the big boys. But if you're looking at what is playing out in Nigeria today, Nigeria is not yet ripe to play with the big boys.
All right, so let's go straight to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's appointment. As the BC people don't they cry out over the appointment. One of them, a former member of the House of Representatives and the 2023 senatorial candidate of the Ebonyi South District, Linus Okori. He don't kick against the claims in various quarters that the Southeast geopolitical zone was cruising with juicy appointments and federal project allocations under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration. Of course, as started by his former governor, Oga Minister for Works, Dave Umahi. He said, which enjoyment, which cruising, what is going on here? Now he said, okay, so he stated it, and he was like, no, that unlike what people are saying, that Tinubu has deliberately and systematically marginalized the Southeasterners. According to him, the region has been starkly and systematically sidelined under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government, with the exclusion of the Southeast from the recently constituted Presidential Committee on the 2025 National Population and Housing Census, serving as another painful reminder. Okore, talked a lot of things. He said the pattern of appointments and federal project allocations under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has once again highlighted the stark marginalization of the Southeast in Nigeria's governance structure. Quoting excerpts of the message where he put it, say, from the composition of President Tinubu's closest advisors, his so-called kitchen cabinet, down to ministerial and parastatal appointments, the Southeast has been systematically sidelined. Not a single Igbo voice exists in the president's inner circle. Not one. Nobody Igbo for an inner circle. The recent constitution of the Presidential Committee on the 2025 National Population, saying that the hammer will break the camel back. He said ministerial appointment further exposes the imbalance. While the constitution compels the president to appoint at least one minister from each of the 36 states, the Southeast has been left with just the bare minimum, 5 slots, 3 of which are junior ministers. In fact, since it be like saying that not just one, be junior ministers. The rest of them, in fact, sorry, not 4 be junior ministers. The rest of only one person be senior minister will be Oga Umahi. Now, the contrast a single state, Ogun State, in the Southwest, has 5 full cabinet rank ministers. That is full senior ministers. This glaring disparity reduces the zone's voice in national decision making and undermines the principle of federal character enshrined in our constitution. But President Bola Ahmed Tinubu people don't constantly talk saying a lie. Say no be true. If they share the percentage of how we say they use share appointment, they go talk say, oh, even though say Southeast suffers small, but not just small, be imagine that means accounting both the ministers for state and all that as part of the ministers. In fact, there's something he added. He said, according to him, he said the 2027 general election will be a contest between the ruling All Progressives Congress and millions of suffering Nigerians to afford 3 square meals a day. Now he said the same lopsidedness is evident in infrastructural allocation, federal road projects supervised by our own Dave Umahi tell a troubling story where 2.5 trillion naira worth of contracts and over 1,200 kilometers of construction has gone to the Southwest, while the Southeast has been allocated just 446 billion naira, covering less than 250 kilometers. Them, they not be human beings, he complained. well, he had quite a lot to complain about. But a lot of people think that it is very irrelevant. I mean, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't speak to anything. In fact, let me see if I can get a bit of what he said again. He added that, okay, let's see if I can get a bit of what he said. Yes, he added that he dismissed claims by Omahe that the Southeast had massively support that the Southeast would massively support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. He described that as political posturing that does not reflect the reality on the ground. He argued that the daily experiences of Nigerians of hunger, unemployment, insecurity, and worsening economic hardship have left many Nigerians, particularly in the southwest, as in the southeast, more disillusioned and resolute in their opposition to the current administration. He maintained that the factors that made Peter Obi popular in 2023 remain relevant. So Peter Obi is likely to also clinch all the Southeast states again. Remember, Oga Omahi been say Southeast no day obedience. Say Southeast across board will vote President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for 2027. And that so now what's in talk with it? Since then allow you say in fact say all the things will make Southeast support Peter Obi for 2023. So those things are still there. According to Rami, say the silence of the people should not be taken for content, but rather a build-up of strength ahead of the 2027 election, where Nigerians would deliver a decisive verdict in favor of democracy. He now further said, I therefore appeal to every Ebonyi and Ebonyi citizen, every Igbo son and daughter, both home and abroad, in the diaspora, to see this moment as a call to action. 2027 general election will not be about political parties. It will be between the APC and the Nigerian people, determined free them to between the Nigerian people that are determined to free themselves from the corruption, exclusion, and bad governance of this administration. He said, now more than ever, our weapon of redemption, not weapon of warfare, our weapon of redemption and expression is our voter card. Let no one wait for government support or mobilization to register. Make them make sure say they go vote. And this one only sound like Oga Francis Chilaka. He said, go get your voter's card. Let me take your reaction, sir, based on what Oga Okori said. Hello, sir, can you hear me? Prince Francis Chilaka, sir, can you hear me? Are you there? Okay. I think okay. Can you hear me? Go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yes. I don't know. My network keeps putting me out. I don't know why my system keeps putting me out. But
sorry,
well, let me say this: where the Nigerian people, I say this with all passion, that we need to stop this mindset of saying, "Oh, our votes don't count." Even if our votes don't count, do the needful first. The needful you need to do is to have your voter's card. That's number one. The next thing you need to do is also, be intentional about who you vote for. We're not saying go and get your voter's card so that you can benefit from 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 tomorrow. 2 balls of onions, one. We're saying have your voter's card, apply wisdom, common sense, let it dictate to you what to do. So if we keep saying, oh, we're having problem with leadership in this country, and we want good leadership, that good leadership will not come from heaven. It's not going to come from the sky. It's going to come from us, the Nigerian people. And until
sorry, I think you have network issues.
So they need as a matter of urgency to be able to do the right thing with their voter's card.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Hear me?
I can hear you now, but you're breaking up.
Just 1 second.
Sorry? Okay. All right. Why would they wait for Prince Francis to rectify in
Yeah.
talk? Okay, I can hear you now, sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So we because we are practicing democracy, because we're in the democratic government.
Can I just call you on WhatsApp so we have this conversation? The network is really, really bad. I think we can't. Let me do a direct call if it's possible for us to have a conversation via direct call. Um, the network is bad. I feel like say the village will visit us today, so we'll not get very good and correct conversation. Okay. So to say take the stomach infection. You guys stop this. You are not nice. People are not nice at all. Why? What's going on here? You're not nice. Okay. So no, can we speak on WhatsApp, sir? Can we speak here? Sorry, can we speak over the phone, sir? Okay. All right then. Okay, no problem, sir. Okay. All right. So let me quickly address this other issue very quickly while we have Prince Francis join us back. So, um, going to the message about President Bola Tinubu and what's the message about designating some North Central states as Yoruba or non-Yoruba. The Yoruba Union, Igbimo Majikobaje, Ile Yoruba, has called on President Bola Tinubu to exercise presidential authority to formally remove Kwara State and parts of Kogi State from the classification of northern states. Now, they're insisting that the regions are historically and linguistically Yorubas and should not be subjected to what they described as political and cultural misrepresentation. We had this conversation yesterday. When will we get this conversation yesterday? We'll talk about, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? When they talk about, how Ibisi appointment fee come from Kogi State, but Yoruba speaking part of Kogi State. And they can just tell you that, oh no, it's not Central, it's not Yoruba. The NNPC boss, for instance, can hail from Kwara State, and they'll tell you, no, he's not Central, he's not Yoruba. But the Yorubas are saying that, please, let's ascribe them, as Yorubas. I'm not going to call them Yorubas because they are our brothers. But the presidency will tell you that, no, they're not Central. But then again, in a statement that this group raised today, Sunday, it was jointly signed by the convener, Olushola Badero, and the home director, Princess Balogu. The group emphasized that Kwara South, Kwara Central, and Kogi West are predominantly Yoruba people, and they're predominantly Yoruba-speaking regions with cultural and ancestral ties to the Yoruba nation. So get at stake the Yoruba people. They maintain that categorizing them, that is the Kwara State and parts of Kogi State, categorizing them as northern states undermines their identity and exposes them to systematic marginalization. Now, the statement expressed deep concern over escalating insecurity in the region, alleging that Fulani herders operating under the guise of cattle rearing have been responsible for killings, kidnapping, and violent land grabs in those areas. Not be me right, Amo. Now then talk. According to the union, more than 10 Yoruba vigilantes and forest guards were killed in Kwara State, Kwara South precisely, this Sunday morning, in an attack allegedly carried out by Fulani herders. Now, the group accused the federal government of arming these individuals. In quoting them, that they said it is disheartening that Miyechi Ala members who have been implicated in attacks on our people are the same individuals who were given AK-47 rifles to protect us. How can murderers be assigned to protect us? How can they be assigned as protectors? It is nothing short of betrayal, part of the statement read. Now, the Yoruba Union warned that President Bola Tinubu would be judged harshly by history if he failed to act decisively to protect the Yoruba people in Kwara and Kogi West. Kwara and Kogi West are Yoruba-speaking regions. To classify them as northern or north central is a fraud and a deliberate act to rob our people of their rights. That's what the group talk. their statement. We demand that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu immediately correct this historic anomaly by removing Kwara and Kogi West from the northern classification. If he fails to act now, history will not forgive him for complicity through silence and inaction as Yoruba lives continue to be lost. Now, Mr. President, they said, should understand that his own people have become vulnerable. His own people, his Omoluabi, his Yoruba people, have become vulnerable in their own ancestral lands. If he refuses to intervene, his silence will be seen as complicity. He must withdraw the so-called boroughs displayed by Kwara South with immediate effect and ensure the protection of Yoruba lives and property there, the group stated. How can Yoruba-speaking communities be labeled as northerners? It is fraudulent and unjust. Our official language is Yoruba, not Hausa, and our people have never identified as Fulani or Hausa people, he declared. On the rising wave of insecurity, Igbimo Majekobaje Ile Yoruba stated that the Yoruba communities are under siege, with farms being destroyed, women raped, and families displaced by violent attacks. This is nothing but a calculated attempt to take over our ancestral homes, they said. The Nigerian government must stop arming the very group that terrorizes us. These so-called headers have turned into murderers, marauders, determined to erase our presence in our own homeland. In fact, the statement it plenty well. Now, this na complaint where we say people don't they make before now. Now it is now people that are ancestrally Yorubas that are making this complaint and urging President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to remove them from Yoruba classification. I don't know if you remember the video I played here during when President Muhammadu Buhari died. That video was credited to what's this man name? I always forget his name. A chieftain of the NNPP. I don't forget that name. The Hausa chieftain of the NNPP. He made that video where he said that the one reason why that Buhari was not a politician, that the reason why they brought in Buhari into politics was so that he can help stop the attack of, in fact, that the Europe, that he saw what the APC, OPC guys were doing during Obasanjo's regime in Kwara State. And Obasanjo was quiet. And President Tinubu, as the governor of Lagos State then, was also quiet. And they know that these people were trying to take back Kwara State. His words, take back, reclaim Kwara State. That's why they had to put Buhari into politics so that he can help them stop the take back of Kwara State. Now, the Kwara indigents now are saying that stop calling us North Central. We are Yorubas. And they're counting on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be the person to do that. If you look at everybody, they do right for their own side. But let me take a reaction, sir.
Well, I mean, we need to clap for them. I'm happy that they're beginning to wake up from their slumber and they're beginning to think out of the box. But as you know, there's nothing anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. They should go back to Gowon and ask Gowon why he decimated the states, why he decided to carve out states here and there, and putting people of different tribes and different religion and different dialects, scattering people all over the place. Now, all this agitation is coming because you have a Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president. I mean, if Kwara people believe, that Kwara, you have the emir, they have an emir in Kwara. They have a Khalid, I think they have emirate.
Yes.
So it's been there. It's not something that started today. So they have to deal with it. They have to deal with it. That is what it means to be one Nigeria. And that is why I'm saying that we need to remove this state of origin and replace it with state of residence. Because state of residence gives you, it gives you that, leverage of being a true citizen. So whatever we see today as Nigeria, everybody must endure, because don't forget, the Southeast is enduring a lot. In terms of number of states, the Southeast is low. In terms of infrastructure and presence of federal government, the Southeast is nowhere to be found. So if you, like I keep saying, for you to rectify a lot of things in Nigeria, you have to look it from the point of justice. So whatever you're doing that is devoid of justice is piece of the graveyard. It will not last. So if the Yorubas in Kwara are saying, no, we're not Yorubas, you know, we need to be moved away and all of that, or if they say, no, because we're Yorubas, we want to associate with our own Yoruba brothers and sisters, then you say the same thing for Igbo-speaking parts in Rivers, Igbo-speaking parts in Delta. Don't forget that the decimation was as a result of, you know, was as a result of trying to weaken the strength of Biafra, I mean Ojukwu, when the issue of Biafra was ongoing. You know, it's after the Civil War that these states were created. And I hope you remember.
Yes, sir.
So, well, I mean, this is one Nigeria. All of us will deal with it. We have all come home to the breakfast. Everybody's taking part of it. We're all eating the breakfast together. So we will remain together, whether from south, north, east, north, central, wherever. We're one. No problem. Let's continue to live together as one.
If we look at some of the complaints so if you say these people make, especially as it gets to do with insecurity, they talk, say they rape their women, they kill their youth them for their
precious women in Owerri, precious women in Enugu, precious women in Ebonyi are being raped on a daily basis. What is being done about it? You cannot face one area and leave the other area out. The people in the Southeast did not start complaining about how their wives, how their daughters are being raped by these Fulani headsmen, and nobody has done anything about it. So we're all in this country together. We all must find a solution to it. It's not about saying, if you say you don't want to be part of what do you call it, North Central anymore, where will you be? Are you asking them to carve out another state for you people? Where would they draw the boundaries from?
It's made them resign them as Yorubas because in the Yorubas.
But they have always been Yorubas there. They have always been practicing their religion. They've always had that. So what are they talking about? Precious, there are issues in this country. And so I don't like these issues that seem to, you know, take our attention away from the priority. The priority in our hands today is that there's hunger in the land. There's unemployment. There's poverty. A lot of children are dropping out of school. A lot of people cannot access good health care. These are issues I expect people to be talking about. We need electoral reform. These are issues that people should jump at. Who appoints INEC chairman? How do we get to that level? How do we get to a level where an INEC becomes completely independent?
Talking about INEC chairman, Serap don't give our president ultimatum. So make you explain how he won't use appoint the next INEC chairman. Now or pro now?
No, but it's the truth. We need to. You see, we can't. Let me tell you my problem. Let me tell you my problem with this present administration.
Okay.
My problem with this administration is that we seem to have more lies thrown to the people than we had during Buhari's time. And why am I saying this? We have it's the first time in the history of Nigeria, we have a core politician as a president. Not only a politician, we have a man who everybody adjudged as one of those who pushed the military back to the barracks. A man who fought for democracy. A man who fought for the upholding of the rule of law. But what do we get? Is that what we're getting? Is that what we're getting? You can't tell me that somebody is a good surgeon and yet each time he takes somebody to the theater, the person dies. There's something wrong with that surgeon. So all those who came and told us how he made Lagos what it is, forgetting that you had the likes of late Jakonde, you had the likes of Fashola, you had the likes of Ambode. They all kept mute because apparently they didn't develop Lagos. They didn't even know what they were doing as governors. So if you have a man who developed Lagos as your president, Precious, the pains Nigerians are going through today is not what we should be going through. So let him put those beautiful thoughts, those beautiful speeches he was giving at Ojota during those days. Let him put it to practice. That is what we want. That is the kind of country we want, a country where you and I have equal rights. A country where we will not wake up and be told that a minister is embezzling our funds. A country where we will not wake up and be told that those in government cannot give account of the wealth around them. A country where those in government, their children are abroad, but the children of those who have put them in power are suffering in the country. So these are the things we're asking for.
Now, let me quickly, now that you said this now, and talking about the INEC conversation, make I quickly just state a bit of waiting SERAP talk. Now, according to the Deputy Director of SERAP, Deputy Director Kolawole Olubadan, he said the selection and appointment process for Mr. Mahmoud Yakubu's replacement cannot and should not be a closed shop. He said a transparent and accountable process would serve legitimate public interest. Now, he said that there is strong correlation between transparency in the selection and appointment process of the INEC chairman and the ability of the commission to perform its constitutional and statutory duties in an independent and impartial manner. You believe him? Say the way they you select the person will help and lead the umpire to conduct election fairly. According to him, he says INEC plays a crucial role in Nigeria's democratic process. Openness and transparency in the selection and appointment process would improve public trust in the commission's independence and impartiality and citizens' participation in the electoral process. In fact, they even asked Oga Bola Ahmed Tinubu about 3 commissioners or so where you get, or 3 INEC commissioners where we hear say they partisan, they loyal to APC. I beg, change them to people where they are partisan. It is very important. But do you see the president heeding to any of those calls?
Well, if you ask me, now who I go ask?
You ask Omaomi.
Because already, if what we hear as rumor and reasons for Yakubu to proceed on retirement leave is true, it's something to the presidency has not denied it. If that is the truth, then we're in trouble. It simply means that you have a president that will not listen to anybody. And then that brings me back to ask this question. Are we truly practicing democracy?
Are we not?
Because we seem to have democracy is supposed to be government of the people, for the people, and by the people. But we seem to have a government by the political class, for the political class, and the political class. The people no longer matter. The voice of the people no longer matter. So if what we are being fed with that led to the sudden, removal of INEC chairman is true, then everybody that is making noise about electoral reform is wasting their time, because you don't even expect that anything will come out from the National Assembly. If you know how much they spent going from one zone, they said they were doing a constitutional review or whatever. It's just a jamboree.
You feel like it's just waste of money?
You said?
You feel like that's just waste of our money?
No. That's just a jamboree, and that's where the problem stems from. The problem stems from the fact that our leaders do not care what you think as a Nigerian. Because if they really, really believe in the people, I am telling you, this government would not have embarked on this coastal highway. This government would not have embarked on fixing the Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Center with 30-something billion. This government would not have embarked on fixing the house of the vice president with 21 billion. This government will not be in the forefront of sharing billions for, in quotes, dataless poor of the poorest in Nigeria. When the roads that were built as far back as the time of Shehu Shagari are no longer, Shehu Shagari, are not motorable. Go to Benin where you have a governor who was threatening Peter Obi not to come to his state. Go and see what's happening at Benin bypass. Go to Asaba. Between Asaba and Onitsha Bridge, there is no road. But the governor of that state, of Delta State, was quick to decamp to APC. So these are pertinent issues. And that's why we say, we do not know the kind of leaders we have. Go to Imo State, you see every day they're talking of roads. Go to Imo State and show me the roads. Even within the capital, everywhere is blocked there. You can't construct all the roads in one day. That is not planning. Go to Amuwodofi here in Lagos. Amuwodofi, go to Amuwodofi. It's supposed to be an industrial area. There is no road. So these are issues that needs to be addressed. But who will address them? So if these issues that affect you and I are not being addressed by government, you think it is now for you to tell them how to appoint an INEC chairman or how to appoint electoral officers that they will listen to? Obviously, they will not listen to it.
So that means Sarah just they waste their time for this one when they talk. You know what?
It's not only Sarah. There are a lot of people who have been out there talking about electoral reform. It's not only Sarah, as government responded to them. When you say Sarah has gone to court severally, won several cases against the government. Which of them have they been able to execute? Is it not the same Nigerian judicial system?
But clearly, all
Precious, as you are sitting down there now, if there is a judgment gotten against you to say they should impound your car, no, but they don't need a magic wand. In less than 24 hours, you see the court bailiff, they'll come to your house and carry the car. But go and get a judgment against your Senate president, for example. Who will implement it? Or even an honorable member in the house, who will implement it? So these are the issues. These are the things that is dragging this nation backwards.
Now, talking about things dragging the nation backward, you'll agree with me, and like every other Nigerian and the SGF, see this whole problem of Nigeria no starts with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, you don't talk. So the problem of Nigeria did not start with the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
George Akume was the governor of Benue State. He was the governor of Benue State. Abi?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
I said the secretary to government. He was the governor of Benue State for 8 years.
Go ahead, sir.
Let him go and show me his legacy in that state. Let him go and show me his legacy. Let me put his legacy side by side with the likes of Solomon La and Co. So what do you expect a man like that to say to you?
Yeah, but you never
if the problems are not with this administration, what did this administration promise us? They promised us that they were coming to solve the myriad of problems that has befallen Nigeria. So why are they not solving the problem? Why are they complaining? Have they suddenly become clueless?
But now, what in talk? Now, in the talk, say the president already starts the process of addressing the problem, and it begins. So he started it with the robust reforms. When you do robust and big reforms,
the first robust reform of this government is subsidy is gone. How robust is that?
That is it. So you see that because it's robust, it's big. So it will not get results instantly. That's why Nigeria.
Yes, that is why everybody in Nigeria today is being forced under band A. That is it. That is a reform. Beautiful reform. The reform that has made a lot of Nigerian children not to go back to school. The reform that has given us petrol at the price of 865 naira per litre. I mean, what a wonderful reform. The secretary to government should hide his face in shame, telling us about reform. A reform where government functionaries would hold meeting with bandits, and bandits are wielding their AK-47 and rifles. That is a reform. Please, when people don't know what to say, they should just keep quiet.
Rebecca tell you what they talk finish. Maybe they talk this one for birthday. You know, say Mark 65. You can't they talk say what in the president they do. He need the support of all of us Nigerians, because what thing they do now. Now what thing people suppose don't do 39 years ago. Now it can start to do now. So it is not easy. I know that.
Precious. When was he a governor?
When was who?
When was the secretary to government a governor?
In 1999 to 2007.
Between 1999 and today, why did he not speak all of this when he was a governor?
Oh, I'm not telling you, they say we don't get another loan from IMF. This is part of the things we need to do now. You understand?
The collection of loan is no longer an issue. It's not news to Nigerians. Because the president has already told you that there's nothing wrong with borrowing. Don't forget they need 759 billion to fix the Lagos International Airport.
Only.
So they must collect loan.
Okay, sir. All right. No problem. Nigeria's phone lines will be open for you to jump in on the conversation as fast as you can. But there are two things I'd like you to put here, to chime in on. One, that the Pengassin and Dangote issue. The federal government now don't jump in. You don't summon both Dangote or Pengassin and TUC, because TUC swear say they could join them for the strike. But before that, it is something we be Gafalon talk, what I find very disturbing, but correct in some way. Because he talks, say every Nigerian, say the federal government supposed actually fully implement the National Health Insurance Authority NHIA Act 2022, stressing that every Nigerian now legally they entitled to compulsory health insurance. This thing not be luxury for most countries. Now waiting countries they give. In fact, countries like South Africa, as Ogacha say in here, don't tell us, say they even give free healthcare to you where be say you be resident of South Africa now, and you get your papers, you go collect your treatment for free. You need to pay money. So, but now saying this in Nigeria sound like saying that just big deal. Well, the way you talk about. Because even if Nigerian government will give you free health insurance, go feel understand the quality of health insurance. You know why I say this one? Because the health insurance way I receive as a Nigerian federal worker, NHIS, it barely covers anything. Do you understand? So the kind of health insurance when Nigerians will give when Nigerian government will give everybody, including those when they work, how the health insurance will be? What's in it?
Well, Precious, I believe that Falana is making a good point. Don't forget, he's actually indirectly talking about the social contract between the Nigerian people and the government. But let us be very, very realistic with ourselves. No matter the kind of health insurance the government gives to you, you got nothing out of it. There's nothing nothing good is going to come out of it. So Nigerians today are not asking for any health insurance. All Nigerians are asking is, let there be a conducive and enabling environment for them to walk into the hospital with their two legs get treated, and walk back home. For the drugs to be affordable. A friend of mine just came back from UK and gifted me 3 I think multivitamins, 3 different ones. Precious, this evening I went to the pharmacy to price this multivitamins. As in, I was shocked. The 3 drugs, the 3 packs he gave to me came to about 135,000.
Just multivitamins.
Just, yeah. 135,000. And then, you ask yourself, is it the man that is earning 70,000 naira minimum wage, or the promised 104,000 naira minimum wage that will be able to buy it? Because before you buy any one of them, you first of all calculate your feeding, your children's feeding allowance, calculate your rent, calculate their education. So these are, see, like Peter Obi once said, governance is not rocket science. It's not. It's just for the government to do the needful, create enabling environment for businesses to thrive. That is all.
All right. So I see messages where you say Oga Charles have been called. They put up here. First of all, he said Precious and not picked up on mental health they disturbed, and he says healthcare in South Africa is free. Even chemotherapy is free.
You remember, Precious? Let me draw your mind. I remember when.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I remember when there was a broadcast where it was said that the president said that they were reducing the price of dialysis. Is it 12,000 naira?
Nah, no reroll. Nah, no reroll. It can't become no reroll.
So now there's no way you can get that.
All hospitals.
You have a country where there's a policy statement. The people that are meant to implement it are doing something else. The Minister of Finance came out and said, 4% on FOB should be suspended by customs. First of all, customs tried to tell the Minister of Finance that we're not under you. Then the next thing, they now enter into discussion with Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, and they came out from the meeting and said, okay, there are some items that should be exempted from the 4%. I mean, what are we talking about? The same South Africa you're talking about, don't forget, I think it was 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, a video was trending where South Africans were stopping non-South Africans from receiving treatment in their public hospitals. Because the public hospitals are working. Just as government has killed public schools, public primary and secondary schools, that is also how they have killed public hospitals in Nigeria. You go to, for instance, you go to Loot now, you will buy syringe, you will buy cotton wool, you will buy everything you want, tissue paper, you will buy. Ordinary gloves, you will also buy. So what are the citizens of this country benefiting from the government?
All right, so this Pengasin and federal government matter, sorry, and Dangote issue. I'm sure you're pressed what's going on. Let me have you jumping on it. They say they won't shut down all gas supply and all that, crude and gas supply to Dangote refinery. Dangote refinery thought say they go stop to sell for Naira to Nigerians. And TUC don't talk say they go join them go strike because
for me
staff because they join you. Make I just get your opinion.
For me, the reason Dangote has given for laying off their staff is totally, completely unacceptable. What I see playing out here are 2 things. On one hand, you see Dangote trying to monopolize the oil sector.
Is it monopoly or just trying to protect his business?
No. Dangote thrives on monopoly. There is no cover up for that. And any sector he enters, he wants to monopolize, he wants to be in control. We've seen it with the cement industry. We've seen it with the sugar industry. The only one he has not been able to, that has been fighting tooth and nail, is pasta, noodles. So if the union is saying, that you should not have sacked you see, you don't come to a stick fight with a den gun or a bazooka. So there was a stick fight between Pengasson and Dangote, and Dangote decided to bring an armored tanker to the table. So yes, for me, I am in support of Pengasson if they would be able to get Dangote to accept back their workers. Two, I also think it is proper for the workers of Dangote to belong to a union. See, a few years back, I happened to do some work for some Indians, and I'll tell you this, I found out that Indians in Nigeria, their companies, there are very few of them that would allow you, a Nigerian, to grow to the level of a manager. Once you get to supervisor level, that is where you stay. If there's a vacancy for a manager, they ship one manager from their hometown, their home country.
In Nigeria. But that can't happen in China.
Precious, it is happening. Don't worry yourself, we know.
So why are our government stay quiet?
It's in government or your labor. That's why I said, do you have Nigerian Labour Congress? Is it functional? With all this thing that's happening between Pengasson and Dangote, have you heard the Nigerian Labour Congress say anything?
And then what still is another part will be one of the worst parts will be casualization of labor. That one is just like saying extortion of labor. And that one,
see, Nigerian government itself is the key extortionist.
Yay.
Yes. You saw what it took for them to agree to pay 70,000 naira minimum wage. How do you want a family of 5 to survive on 70,000 naira minimum wage? You want to tell me that if governors, senators, and honorable members are put on that category to earn 70,000 naira, you think people would break banks and break their savings to become governor, become ministers, and everything? No, people will not. But because we have found ourselves in a situation where those who are meant to serve are now being served, they're enjoying the largesse of the office. So for them, life goes on.
All right, sir.
Doesn't matter.
Thank you, sir.
So I will call on Pengasson. I will call on Dangote. Dangote should, also realize that this labor has been there, or this labor unions have been there, cannot undermine them. Because now he's accusing them of blackmail, accusing them of trying to, throw the country into fuel scarcity. But at the end of the day, do you also realize that Dangote tomorrow, if he becomes that monopoly he wants, he can wake up tomorrow and sell petrol at 1,500 and everybody will keep mute? We need to have checks and balances to have good governance.
All right, sir. Thank you. Let's begin to take your calls. Nigeria's phone lines are open. Let's start to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversations we've had tonight. Kindly call us on the WhatsApp number 0817 029 4077 0817 029 4077, or follow the link really for the pinned comment, and that link will carry you straight into our studio for you to join us for the studio. Let's make it quick so that we can retire. Good evening, Oga Edwin. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, Precious. How are you?
The UK today, I'm very well, thank you.
Good evening, sir. Prince Shilaka, how are you today?
I'm good, sir.
Yeah. I they listen to your submission since, but I say the thing they make me even the verse to the way I can see the anger in you too. Those of us here too, we share in that anger, Now I just want to talk about one sensitive issue. This attack on Christians in the north. You know, Precious, it has been happening for decades. It's just that in Nigeria, we tend to hide everything. We tend to hide under all sorts of secrecy and committing crimes against humanity. You know that there have been very rigid and concretized plans from those who think they can use their religion to dominate other sets of religious belief in Nigeria. Let me be very precise. You see, those core northerners, they have believed over time that those of us who are in the South and are Christians, we are infidels and we shouldn't even belong. Now, there have been systematic annihilation and extermination of those of Christian beliefs in the Middle Belt, particularly in the Plateau, Benue, Southern Kaduna, Southern Borno, Southern Adamawa. All the ancestral homes of the Christians in these areas are the killing fields of these so-called Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram, jihadists, or whatever name they are called. It is just calculated plans to take over the ancestral homes of these people and dominate them. Install emirs and whatever it is where possible in all of these areas. And that is the secret those of us, Nigerians, have been hiding. And it is an open secret. Everybody knows these security agencies. You know, I've always told you, when I bring these submissions, when I make these claims, they are very, very valid. And the security agencies, even the retired ones, if you go interview them, they will open up. There was one day a retired naval commando came on Channels television. I think it's sometimes 2 years ago now, if I recollect precisely. I saw the video again sometimes 2 days ago. And I watched through again and listened to this retired naval commando who was in the intelligence community. I think he's a lecturer now in one of the universities in the Southwest. You know, he vividly explained all that happened during the time when Boko Haram was in its infancy in 2011, 2012. He gave a thorough account of how Boko Haram came about, like what I've been telling you over and over again in this channel. There are those who nurtured, who conceptualized, who brought about the idea of Boko Haram, are either currently in government or are powerful political opinion holders in the north. And what was the strategy? It was to Islamize Nigeria. And that naval officer, retired naval officer, who's currently is a lecturer. I can't exactly remember his name now. Sometimes I take notes of all those names. He's a retired. In fact, I will forward that very interview from Channels television to you. He laid claims to everything that we had known and that we are very sure of. It is just a plan. Why is it, like what Prince Chilaka asked, why is it that the center of attacks, the focal point, is always areas predominantly either dominated or wholly occupied by the Christians? And then a sprinkle of other attacks in maybe some areas. They go to some mosques, abduct some people, and go and demand ransom. You know, so when you look at it, Chibok girls, predominantly a Christian setup, all their abductions, even the Kankara, those areas in Niger State, in all other states where abductions are taking place in schools, they predominantly of the Christian belief. You know, the other time when a Reverend Father went from the North Central region, went to the U.S. Senate also, I think House of Representatives, and laid claims to all this, he laid them bare. What happened? The authorities in Nigeria started castigating the man. And that is exactly the denial they are doing now, as of today. So when you see a setup where a particular set of people whose purpose is entirely to annihilate and exterminate others of other religious beliefs take over their ancestral home and the rest. What do you call them? Do you call that what is it called? Territorial attacks and the rest? No, these are plans that have been. And there was another major general too, who was the commander of a sort of operation something in Plateau State. He made reference to it. He said we are just looking around and we thinking it is kinetic approach to this and that. He said no. He said it's deeper than that. And he said so. These are the things that somebody like myself know. I know all these things. At least I'm very conversant with all this. I'm old enough to know the history of those regions. So until Nigeria, from what I do know, the British, what they bequeathed on the people in the current geographical entity called Nigeria was just a case of people they thought would split years back. But to their greatest surprise, there was a British author who equally wrote a book about it and said he is still surprised that Nigeria is still a country. He thought we would have long disintegrated. Because what happened between India and Pakistan is exactly the composition of the current Nigeria makeup. That is exactly what the British authorities should have done. You know, the North on their own and then the South on their own. So we are incompatible up to tomorrow. Although I'm not praying that we disintegrate, but if you look at the way we live in, the way things are going, the trajectory of the Nigerian political setup and everything, you see that all is not well. It isn't well, and it's not going to be well until we sit down and discuss about how we should live together and how we are going to live together, the rules that should guide how we are going to live together. In other words, like
we avoided that question. We need to get this conversation. Even our constitution said deny us getting that conversation because there's no room for that conversation at all.
Yeah, that is exactly what I've always said. Now, if you go to my Facebook something, I pin in there until we revisit it, because that is the only way out. Because there is nothing we can do about these. We are just only pretenders. Particularly those who are political office holders and those who are the political elites. They don't want to, because these people have interacted so much either in their corruption processes or in other political bargains that they've done in the past. You know, if you see, most of them are conscienceless. They don't think. So all that they believe in is just their interest, selfish interest, what they could get from the system. So that is the way I see it. Regarding what we've been saying about this, the killing, it's just the Christians that have been murdered, that have been slaughtered on a daily basis in the north. You think Tinubu is not aware? I told you the other time, Tinubu is aware. All former presidents, security chiefs, and agencies are aware. It's just that the political correctness that is just killing us. The willingness to be able to tell truth to power and say, this is the way we should do this. If you listen to that Naval Komodo interview, I will send it to you. You must have seen it, Precious. I don't think I'm telling you anything new. Just listen to what that man was an insider. He was the chief intelligence officer. He said he interrogated a very large number of those who are currently in the National Assembly. He said some of them are governors at the moment. When prompted to name them, he said he couldn't do that. He said because they are there. The facts are there. Buhari saw the files. Tinubu is seeing it now. What are they doing about it? They are there. You know, like as I told you, and as I've claimed times without number, one of the arrowheads is the current vice president, Ali Modu Sheriff. These are the people, and not the power brokers in APC now from the Northeast. So what are we talking about? Now let us look at the problem of the Southeast. Tell me, what is the political or economic offense of the Southeast of Nigeria that they won't have a fair share, a fair deal in the political arrangement of Nigeria? When Nigeria's political independence was founded on the tripodal stand, the Southeast, the Southwest, and then the North. So tell me, what is their offense? That they fought a civil war just to get themselves emanated from a region or regions that were oppressing them and killing them. If you read the Nigerian Civil War written by Major General Philip F. Young, go and read that book. from pages 73 to 82, you will see what the man wrote there. How the program started, where it started, where the first bullet was shot, and why Ojukwu had to lead that revolution. And then what happened in Aburi in Ghana. How Gowon came back and reneged on every item that was agreed on. So to me, why are we marginalizing them? What is the offense of these people? Look at every government, every successive government since the end of the Civil War. The 3 arrows never be implemented, apart from Alex Ekweme and then the late Edwin Ume Ezoke, those who came to political limelight by arrangement. Nothing. We've never given these people a fair share of what belongs to them rightly. And look at even the current government. Like what you people have been saying, how many ministers have been given to these people? Just one. And it's Umahi. And Umahi is talking there, tongue-in-cheek, and telling Nigerians, no, it is not the turn of the Igbos. So when will it be the turn of the Igbos? So when you look at the whole setup, I keep wondering where we are changing or teetering to. We are teetering towards a time bomb. What I'm seeing there is that, I do not really know how to, because the more I talk about the Nigerian political setup, the more I tend to distance myself from even being called a Nigerian. Because wherever I go, anyway, I don't even use Nigerian passport. I don't know whether it even exists again. So, but what I'm trying to say is that if we don't make fences, if we don't play by the rules, if there is no rule of law, for instance now, like what I've always asked you to precious, are we practicing democracy? I think Prince Shilaka too has re-echoed that this night. Are we practicing democracy?
That be me, you
that is,
make I invited T.Y. Danjo and make him come into the house. Maybe you go answer the question.
No, we are not practicing democracy. What are we practicing? Is it we are practicing the rule of Wike and Tinubu? That is it. Because when people tell you go to court, what court are you going to? Is it the court of Wike and Tinubu? Or they say go to INEC. What sort of INEC? INEC conducted the election in Edo State. Is it that, was that the outcome of the election really? That governor in Edo State? Is that, we look at that one, an election? What were the rules that were followed? There, nothing. Somebody in the Nigerian, I've even said it. I said, no matter how we even tend to talk about the electoral reforms and everything, Tinubu is going to appoint the INEC chairman. And even by the last count, I think virtually all the 36 resident electoral commissioners are card-carrying members of the APC.
That's what's
and then the national electoral resident officers are all card-carrying members of APC. So tell me what you are going to do about that. And then INEC, there another glitch or set of glitches will happen in 2027. And we will come back to the status quo and we'll chat, go to court. What court are we going to? Is it the Supreme Court of Kekere or whatever is her name? Is it the appeal court where the weakest wife is even there? They are all there. They tell you go to court. They know the reason why they tell you go to court. You know, at the slightest instance, they tell you go to court. Because they know the court is in their pocket. The judiciary, weakest judiciary is there. Wike even said it in the other interview, the other time with Chenwoki Baloye. You know, when he said somebody came to meet him when he had that problem with Fubara, and the person, he mentioned the name. I won't mention the name here now because the man always come on channels and the rest to talk about how is the political, political focal point of revariance. That is people from your state. He comes to channel all the time. He's an APC member. He said this man came to meet him. I wanted to negotiate through the back door to say, give me the slot since you don't want this man. You know, he wanted Wike to tell Supreme Court to invalidate Fubara's election. And then Wike then told the man who brought him to him. He said, Wike said he was by the swimming pool when the man who the go-between came to him and said, you know, now why don't we just deal with Fubara this way? Supreme Court should just, upturn the result and then declare the APC candidate. You know the person I'm talking about, Precious, is from your state. You know the person. You know? Pardon?
Tonye Cole.
Tonye Cole, the man who comes to television to speak from both sides of his mouth sometimes. You know, Wike Wike claimed on television here, or did you see it? Did you? Yeah, Wike said.
Edwin, you give me a second. Let me quickly speak to
okay.
this person on the line waiting. Good evening,
Yeah.
sir. Ogaranyo Bia Diocha from Denmark. You're welcome. Thank you. Go ahead very quickly, sir.
Prince Chinaka, may God bless you with more wisdom.
Amen.
More gray hair too.
You're really doing a good job. You see, there is what I find that in Nigeria, we are very far from everything. Sometimes I wonder, does it mean that there is no people who are educated in politics? Does it mean that we don't think of the priority of government? Because the way Nigeria is moving is like the people who are into political offices don't know the meaning of priority of government. Government is all about the grassroots. If you are talking about healthcare, how can you put the healthcare? Everything is all about the city of Lagos and Abuja. Do you know that London alone have no less than five standard airports, about three or two international airports in London alone, and even none of airport in Nigeria you can compare with one of the airport in London. You know, so when you are talking about health education, where you gonna put it? Is it any house in Lagos now? You will tell me that a block of flat have a postcode where you can send letter and someone will receive that letter in the flat. There is none. So sometimes I ask myself, where is these people who are educated, who moving around to be in a political office? Where do they went to school? What are they studying? Coming to the Western world, going having meeting with them. Does it mean that they don't know that all the areas have postcode? Because even the way things are going in Nigeria, why these people are doing whatever they are doing, the cleansing, is because all the whole land, they have no code. Anywhere they're captured is gone. But they can try that in Western world. Because all the whole area have what is called postcode. You can never say that you are going to do cleansing in area. It can never happen. And you cannot have a house without foundation. The last time I asked a question, someone is telling me that government is built from top. You cannot build government from top. Because during campaign, they go kindred by kindred. And even if you come to Lagos, they go street by street. They go close by close. That is the priority of government. There is no street in Lagos without a chairman. That chairman is a representative of that street. And the local government know the chairman. The councillors know the chairman every garden street. That is how you get the priority of government. So I don't really understand the people who are educated in Nigeria, both the lawyers, both the judges, it baffles me. Where are the ones who went to school? Are they not coming they always fly to UK? And when they fly to UK, then drive around with the GPS. Where can you travel in Nigeria with the GPS? Even in the Abuja, you'll be lost out from the GPS. So I get worried enough. Where is the people who are educated?
Thank you, sir.
And always love speaking grammar.
Thank you. Huh? Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, precious.
Sir, God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, all right. Dr. Emiza Edwin, you don't talk your mind finish now. I feel tell T why don't you want to talk so that
I never talk finish. So if I want to talk and the old days, I just want to make summary of it because the night is fast spent now. Yeah, what is there is that if I won't come one day I go come talk 2 hours with you. Make we begin talk Nigerian politics and make we begin they talk about that country we will call our own. But I'm very grateful to Prince Chilaka. The last one I want to talk about now Fubara, because that Fubara when people they Now, if you observe today, he went to do a Thanksgiving service. I think it was in a Catholic church or so. Those wicked foot soldiers. No, because we were told there is peace there now, and they've settled, they've done this, they've done that. So why were the assembly members, led by the speaker and others, wicked political allies, why were they not in that service today? So what sign is that telling others or telling us about what has transpired or what is transpiring or going to see happen in Rivers State? So I think it's simply a piece of the graveyard, like what most people have been saying. Well, what is still there? There is still some sort of very bitter political undercurrent that will consume some people there. So those of you people from Rivers, I think not only Rivers, the entire South, if we continue in this trajectory, I told you about the political calculations of the Northerners. It is on ground. It is ongoing, and it is in full swing at the moment. And everything will soon be unraveling, and you will come to know exactly what I told you about 2-3 weeks ago, the plans they have. And that is the last thing I will talk about, that information. And that is the reason why I decided to let the obedient secretariat know about Obi's involvement with ADC. I said it the last time I called. They are trying to entangle Obi into and then try to put him into a very tight political corner. I was trying to get very, very valid information from Dr. Nonoju, but it wasn't seem forthcoming. I don't know what, because the last time I watched him, the interview with you, it looks a bit withdrawn. It wasn't that kind of vocal Nonoju that I know. I don't know what is happening behind the scenes too. I hope it's not been, how do I put it now? I hope they are not trying to throw some sort of political bait to him. I think from this set of, Nigerian politicians, they can do anything. So the way he spoke glaringly about what is the name? This governor of Imo State, and
he's always supported Hope Osodin, but that's not the first time.
Yeah, what he said about that man and all the things he said were contrary to the views of some very prominent Imo citizens who are my friends that I know what is on ground there. And I was very, very uncomfortable with that interview. But I don't know. I'm not a mind reader or something, but something wasn't right that day, because if you interviewed him and probably you observed it as well. I'm not just airing my view. Dr. Nonoju is I admire that man a lot, but I observed that he wasn't the kind of person. He wasn't forthcoming outrightly that very day. I don't know what he was trying to protect, and maybe because of the current political climate or something.
All right.
But yeah, I think that is the observation that I made on that very day.
All right, sir.
So thank you very much, Precious. Prince Philaka, thank you.
Yeah.
I've loved to watch you several times on other channels as well. Thank you very much, and good night.
Thank you so much. See why don't you? Oh, you're talking so that they go. Thank you, sir.
Hajia, Precious. Yeah, they.
Oh, Hajia, if I be Hajia, gold for the trip for my body. I cannot be Hajia.
Thank you receive him. You be Hajia. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, my prince, how buddy?
It is like Clotto.
I did you. Well done. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, Precious, they don't go, so I'll just be brief. I just want to talk on one issue, and I'll let you make you go rest, you and Prince. Now, this Yoruba group where you talk, where they call for Yoruba ethnicity in Kogi and Kwara to be excised from the north and maybe brought back to the southwest. I don't know whether what they're saying is may then create another state for them, or may then just match them with the neighboring southwest states where they close to them, you know. But I don't see anything wrong with that. If they do that, that is okay.
Yeah, they are ethnically Yoruba people. We can't wish that away or wish it away. Boundary adjustment adjust the Yoruba in them. It's not possible.
Okay.
You know.
So what did they want be saying? May then promote them from the north and bring them to the southwest. Is that correct?
Command them from maybe they attach them as northerners or north central.
Okay, so those people go lose all the benefits where they don't enjoy from being north and disadvantaged states.
Is there a benefit from being north?
So the all those what they enjoy, they go get rapid promotion from the army, get quota benefits, get federal character benefits, and so on. So what they are saying is that they should lose those ones. But okay, it's okay. But if they do that, I think it will also be fair. When they look at the results, or what we call the job, the zone, they are scattered over 7 states. So they should also do the same thing with the results. If possible, create 7 states for them. I mean, make sure that they have their own states. Because if you want to come here, that's the Igbo this thing. You know, you can translate it for me. You be journalist. My English, say my English, you get us to be.
Again, they say, me what?
If you do unto others, do unto that kind of a thing. So the judge too, may then grant them that justice too. And then, but above all, may then grant the Igbos the same thing. The Igbos are scattered over 13 states. You can't believe this. If you count them, 13 states. And yet, they only have 5 states that they can really call their own.
But these middle belters we're talking about are even marginalized. Middle belters, it is Plateau State people, the Benue State people. They cry for marginalization. They tell you, say the North, they marginalize them. So what we want to do now?
No, that's what I'm saying now. So if these people are crying, say Nigeria is not fair to them, they want their people to be, that favor to be granted to them. I'm saying that there are people who have even more. These are only 2 states that they talk about. There are people who have even much greater problems. The Igbos. There's no state, there's no ethnic group in this country that is so scattered. 13 states. I can count them for you if you want. They are in Benue, they are in Kogi, they are in Delta, they are in Edo, they are in Rivers, they are in Bayelsa, they are in Cross Rivers, they are in Akwa Ibom State. Add the 5 states of southeast. That's 13. So when they talk about this unfairness to the Igbos, it go be like say this were just crying for nothing or just making noise. It's all over the place. It's just all over the place. You dissipate them, so that they're not going to get majority, so that they're not going to get voice, what kind of country is this? What kind of country is this? So if you want to address this, and this is not even peculiar to just these people. There are other, in the middle belt, you have people who are also scattered all over. Some even outside this country. So when people come out and begin to whip up this sentiment, what you are saying is that this country, they should just tear down this country and then begin to build it up again. That's what they're saying. Because they say they get boiled. Can't see people will get big sore. And this is something that is deliberately, fostered on them, so that they will deny them what benefits they have, or whatever it is when they come together. We can't be talking about all these things every day. These things are clear, and it's unfortunate. Make I leave you because they don't go make you go rest, Joe.
Thank you so much, Siwa Danjo. appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, Prince Francis Chilakasa, make I let you take your parting shot, sir.
Oh, I mean, there's nothing like for me. There is no parting shot. We can't keep having parting shots every now and then. The only parting shot is, Nigerians need to realize that to take their country back, they have to do it by voting, and they have to be very intentional about who they vote for. So if you have not got to your voter's card, if it is damaged, go and apply and wait for it. You need to have it. That is one thing that gives you hope for a better Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time, for your efforts, for your continuous contribution on this platform. We appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you. Nigeria, that's the size of our package this evening. Thank you to everybody we don't make today a successful show again. We will continue to speak for the growth and development of our nation. And I don't think I stated this earlier. Oga Bolaji Abdullahi, the spokesperson of the ADC, will be joining us sometime this week. I think on Thursday or so, but I'll let you know specifically when. But he's heard about our platform and he's very interested in joining us. But we'll conclude on what day exactly he's going to come. And I also don't let him know, say, my people have asked questions, so say, I would like to ask him a lot of questions, especially concerning how the position intend to wrestle power from the ruling party. And I'm sure it's something that he would really love to see you guys, respond to you guys. So please bring on the calls that day, right? He'll be joining us later this week. Thank you once again to everyone. Remember to like this post, to share and subscribe. But I know that I go bring special item from Ndoki land to the beg on and make on the subscribe and like. I go bring special item from Ndoki land. Make I use the beg on and make on use the like and share. I beg now, make on a like, share, subscribe. Follow us like an village people now. Cost. It is free of charge. You're not paying money for it. Please kindly like this post, share, subscribe. Follow us like a village people. I love you guys dearly. But above all, remember to protect your mental health because wahala need to finish at all. As I always say, he who thinks about or worries about Nigerian problem and runs away lives to worry another day. So have yourself an amazing evening and protect your mental health. Good night and God bless you.